now that we have all of them nice and ironed flat on both sides, we're actually going to break out our pins and use this time. My green's a little bit more off than I would have liked, but it's a scrap quilt. I don't care. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna flip the top down over the middle, line it up in my center pieces with my little blocks. Stick a pin in here. Like so. And these are small enough, it's not gonna be a big deal if I just do two. Open it up, flip my bottom one up, turn it around, do the same thing. Here, there. Alright, this one looks like it's trying to turn a little bit, but it should be fine. Yeah. And then, just gonna run it through. Make sure that's straight. Flip it around to the other side here. Go. Try to keep them as flat as I can if I catch it. If not, it's not a big deal. Sometimes those seams like to fold over. It's good if you can line up your seams as you go, as they go down like that right there. That's helpful sometimes. And there we go. There is our first quilt block. And now that you've got your first one set out, what you can do, if you want to iron it first, you can. Otherwise, you can take this, and what I'll do is I'll set it over here in my clear spot, and what I'll do is I'll just set them up as I go, like that. Spread them out here. Get one there, there, there. Right over there. And before I go back to ironing them all and putting all the pieces together, I'll put this row together, this row together, this row together, stack them up, and then I'll come through with the next one. Set them all up, so all the 3 strips together, stack them crosswise so I know which blocks are which. Take them over to the sewing machine, iron them all out. Come back over here, sew all my blocks together, and when I stack, I always crisscross like that, and then sew them all together again, take them over, iron them all at the same time instead of doing each individual block by themselves. That's just a trick I do to help it move a little faster, so I'm not up and down, up and down, up and down, iron every other couple of stitches or so. So anyway, finish up the blocks and we will get back to the rest of the quilt after we get all our blocks together. Now that we have all of our squares together, let me rephrase that, all of our blocks together, we came up with 12 blocks, or at least I did, with scraps I had. So with 12, I'm probably going to do a 3x4 as far as my blocks are concerned. So now the matter is, how do you piece them together to make it look like you want? As you get into more of the different quilts and everything, the way you turn your block, you can give it different feel, different dimension, different all kinds of things. So this one, since it's small, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. What I think I'm going to start by doing is throwing up here on my corners, because my middle part is where a lot of my shape is, with the different colors of the, not wording today. The pattern in the middle is what I'm working off of right now. And this is going to be really weird. I really needed it to be different. But since it's not, we're going to work with it. And we're going to play with it for a minute and see how it turns out. Actually, I think that might be what I go with. Because now it looks like a little zigzag line down through there. I think that's actually how I'm going to make it roll. And then we're going to turn it around here. And zigzag it back up. Oops. Turn it that way. That way. So that's not exactly what I had in mind, but I wasn't exactly working with 3 either. I was still thinking 4. So now, turn that one. And I have lost a block. Nope, I haven't. I can't count today. Wow. Okay. So, now we have our pattern done. See, it looks really cool that way, doesn't it? It's like a little road map. So now we're going to leave it there, and we're going to start by piece them together, and we're going to do it 1 row at a time, and we're going to go with the short rows versus the long rows. I'm not really sure why I'm going to do that, but that's how I like to do it, top to bottom instead of side to side, because I don't get as confused that way. So, come on here, let's do it. And then we're going to line up all of our seams the best we can here. Like I said, we start kind of in the middle. Nose up there. Pull that. It's going to be a little tug there. And then alright, that one's pinned together. Then double check, grab that, flip it over. Do the same thing here. Pin it there. Pin it there. May just pin it off on the side here just to keep it straight, since it's wanting to go wonky on me. There. Check my side over here. It's okay. So see, these are a little bit off. That can be easily made up. Right now, that's lining up with that, which means it's pretty straight overall. So then, we have all those. We're going to take it over to the sewing machine, zip up the sides, go all the way down so we have 4 full rows, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so now that we have them all put together in rows and we've got them ironed out, as I was going through them, I was just laying back out so I could keep track of where my rows were, especially since I have my odd corner pieces. For larger quilts, don't always have the space to do that. Sometimes I have to pin labels on them, row 1, row 2, this side up, this side down, and that sort of thing. But with something this small, I can just lay it out on my table and do that. So now we're down to putting our rows together to finish out the top. So once again, simple flipping over. Then grabbing my pins. Starting at a center-ish point here. Just pick here. My blocks. Try to line them up the best I can. Some of them I've had to tug a little bit to center it up. There's one block in here that's a little bit way wonky and I don't know what happened with it. So we're not going to sweat it. A little 1/8 of an inch here and there off isn't a big deal. So pin the corners just so I have a better through here. Put a pin in there. This is gonna have to be pulled and it's gonna be just off, but like I said, fraction off isn't gonna be too terrible. Here. And the center of here. Good. Then come over to this side. I like this pin them on the side because it helps keep it from twisting. Okay, so now we're all pinned up. We're ready to go run it through the sewing machine. Then when we come back, we're gonna add this row to this row to this, or you'd put these two together, lay them out, and then put the 2 halves together. Sometimes that's easier too. All right, now it is all together. You can see how nice it all goes. This is our only wonky side here. I almost wish I would have put it somewhere else, but it was on the edge and, you know, I'm game with that. So now I think I'm going to work next on some borders for this because I have some extra left. So in the next video, we will cover doing a small little simple border just to kind of decorate it up, finish off the edges, and finish out some more of our scraps.